collection tour time! As you can imagine, being a primarily collectibles channel, I have a lot of collectibles and you guys ask all the time, can we see a full tour? Here you have an official 2024 what my collection looks like. Everything except for like all of my Loungefly, because that could be a whole video in itself, because I think I have at least like 20. And I know a lot of the people here collect mostly figurines and not Loungefly. If you want a Loungefly video, let me know and I'll make either a full video or a short about it. But without further ado, let's go! Here we have the Pokemon area. I have these 3 metal pieces of art. This here is by Govee. Any lights or risers that have links, I will have them linked below. Then we have my giant Pikachu Squishmallow and my Snorlax, 18-inch Pikachu, and Dunking's Bayley, Nala, and Nunnally, which I still haven't customized yet. And then we have the shelves below. Here we have all of my evolutions, including some customs. Then this is kind of just assorted Pokemon. This one has to be my favorite though out of all of them here. Not because it's actually my favorite, but because my niece Nova loves to go Ashwa and asks for it every time we're on FaceTime, because I live 9 hours away, so that's really the only time I get to see her unless I go fly 2 hours or so. So yeah. And then down here we have more Squishmallows, Sylveon plush, and then my Light Fury plush. I actually have a Night Fury too that my wonderful friends gifted me, and I got to build it, but I didn't have room for it in my bag, so a different wonderful friend, Taylor, offered to ship it back for me. And then we have my cube area. We have Eevee, Glaceon, Snorlax, and my camera. That's just where I ended up living. Bulbasaur, and that's also where my light plugs in, so he ends up getting moved around a lot, and Mewtwo. Here we have our anime corner. Let's start with the Shonen Jump shelf. So I don't know if this is technically considered Shonen Jump, but we have our Haikyuu up there, and that's the full collection. Then we have my currently in box Black Clover, which I plan on taking some of them out, but I'm also deciding which ones I still want to keep, because I might turn this into like a half situation where I have Black Clover on one side and keep a few of them and then put some other ones over here. That's why they've never been unboxed yet. But anyway, then we have my One Piece display, which we updated recently. You can check out last week's video. Then here we have my Hero Academia. This section is kind of crazy right now because I actually stole the riser that looks like this for that section right there, so I gotta figure out what I want to do with this. But we have UA, Hawks, a bunch of Dekus, actually a signature right here. And here we have all of our students and some of the sodas as well. And all of these are chases. I have almost all of them. Underneath MHA we have Naruto. I don't really know how to describe what these shelves are. I think I tried to do like all of the Uchihas and just kind of more mysterious characters on the shelf. Also the Susanos. I also love these Shikamarus. And I do have these mini kitties that I need to take out of box, but it's a Naruto and Sasuke set. Then down here we have more. This is a flocked Kurama that I need to take out of box. And this one is kind of just like Naruto and close friends. I also have this SDCC keychain set down here that is Hello Kitty and Naruto themed. And that is the Shonen Jump shelf. To the left of the Shonen Jump we have what I call my Sailor Moon shelf, because it's primarily Sailor Moon, but it does have more on it. Because up top we have all of the Ouran High School Host Club pops. Right underneath that we have Fruits Basket, which is one of my favorite series, and I'm so happy they made them into pops. And then the Sailor Moon begins. We have Glitter Sailor Moon, the outer Senshi here, and my only signed Sailor Moon pop, which is Sailor Neptune. She is my favorite, if you can't tell. Because we also have another cute basket of her. We have my fake silver crystal in the back. We have a big statue, this little bottle opener, 2 Funko Pop keychains there, a tiara, an Artemis and Luna holding it up, the Royal Family, Black Lady, and Queen Beryl. And we have the Sailor Moon S set in the back that I asked my husband to get for me and I haven't opened, and he's like, why haven't you opened it? And it's because it's also on streaming, but it's not always on streaming, so I wanted to have a physical copy just in case, because it's my favorite season and it is the Viz dub, so that's really exciting. Then we have my Sailor Cosmos statue, which I did a whole unboxing video for, Sailor Mars that was gifted to me by a subscriber, so thank you very much, and also the Sailor Moon acrylic logo and my fake golden crystal back there. Underneath that shelf we have another Sailor Moon shelf. Wow, what a surprise! This is my primary Sailor Moon shelf, like specifically for Usagi. But then also we have some Chibi Usa as well, and some Lunas also. This is also where I have some more of those keychains, and probably my favorite bag in this entire collection. It's very debatable. I have a lot of favorite bags, but this one is like, I think it takes the cake because it is double-sided. I did a whole short on it. It's an ASMR short, in fact. And on the other side, it is Tuxedo Mask, and I'm not going to take it out because that'll knock some stuff down, and I only have one hand right now, but just believe me, it's awesome. Underneath that, we have all the Sailor Senshi, Tuxedo Mask, Chibi Usa, and Sailor V. And then we have the Inner 5 Guardians as kitties. Speaking of which, my kitty wants to get into my pops. Ma'am, hey, Yuffie. Hi, what you doing there? I'm making a video. Can I make my video, please? You only want to be over here because I'm over here. You never mess with this stuff. And then a trending theme is I often use my bottom shelves as storage, or I have things set up that I don't know where else to display yet, and as you can see, my cats knocked that down. But I actually have been meaning to take this out of box. My husband bought it for me months ago, and I absolutely love it. It's insane. I just don't have the right spot for it yet. And to the left of Sailor Moon, we have my Assorted shelf, which is a mix of different animes and more kawaii stuff that I own. So up top, we have all of the dumpster fires that you've seen in the past. I think I'm gonna downsize on some of them, not all of them, just because I have other ones that I want to get in the future that are a little cuter than some of the ones I currently own. Not all of them, just some. Then RIP, we have our Yuri on Ice shelf. I'm still mourning. Underneath that, this is a very mixed shelf. It currently holds a lot of my Nendos that I plan on unboxing because I actually just got some new displays that will work really well with them, and I'm planning on doing a TikTok display video. Like, not on TikTok, even though I'll probably post some to TikTok, but more so like different kinds of displays that you can get on TikTok Shop kind of video. So we'll see how that goes, but currently they're all living here. I also have some of my manga here. I have more of the Apothecary Diaries as well that I don't have here. I also have more One Piece. This Sasuke and Miyano set is actually my friend's, and I need to give it back to her because I'm done reading it. But I also love this shelf because it has a lot of custom artwork on it, and it's so freaking gorgeous. We also have my Chomps. Aren't they cute? But for the Nendos, we have Sasuke, Miyano, the Ice Guy and his cool female colleague, Kyosoma from Fruits Basket, Komi from Komi Can't Communicate, Miyamura from Horimiya. Then we actually have two other Nendos down here as well, which is Yuri from Yuri on Ice, which I will unbox once I have my Victor. And then we also have Tomo from Tomo-chan is a Girl. And speaking of Nendroids, we also have Your Forger here on the Spy Family shelf. Spy Family is definitely the line where I have the most different kinds of collectibles besides Sailor Moon. And that is purely because they haven't come out with Funko Pops yet, but we have some of the Q Poskets, we have the U2s, which I'm so on the fence on if I actually want to take out of box or not. But then we also have some blind bag items, actually a lot of blind bag items, SDCC keychains, this acrylic which I am obsessed with, and some statues and ramen holders, and some artwork in the back as well, and that's actually one of the first pieces of merch that I owned for this line. And right underneath that we have Sanrio, which is a little bit of a mess. We're going to be updating this soon. This is actually one of my biggest collections that you guys don't see super often except for in shorts because it does really well on shorts, and I actually just got more, so we gotta figure this out. Because as you can see, it's starting to become a thing where I have to put some behind, and I kind of super hate that. I actually color coordinated this entire thing. So we have the lightest ones over here in the pastels, then we have pinks, then we have purples, yellows, and greens, then we have blues and blacks, and grayscales, which, yeah, as you can see, my cats knock them over sometimes and they get messed up. Out of all of them, I think Kuromi is my favorite, but I love all of them so much. After that, we have another assorted shelf. This is kind of my kawaii shelf, where I have a lot of cute things over here. This is actually from Kirby. I don't know its name though, but it reminds me of my brother, and that's why I keep it. And then we have some nightlights, another nightlight, udon kitty, some more kitties with pastries and coffees and things like that. And then we have my Pushins and Pudding Hugo. And this is actually one of my only con stickers. Nala has joined the chat. And then to the left, we have the Disney section. First, we have the Tangled shelf, and I'd love to get the I See the Light moment too. Then the Little Mermaid shelf. We have some from the live action, but then we also have plenty from the cartoon. One of my favorites has to be Sebastian here, and I'm hoping to update this shelf sometime soon. After that, we kind of go into assorted Disney and kind of random. Like, I don't know if you technically call this Disney, but we have Miraculous Ladybug, Big Hero 6. This was actually the first chase I ever got. It was a chance of chase, and I got the chase, which was really cool. It's also cool because one of my nicknames is Baymax, and I have a cat that looks like Moji, so that's cool. And then this is my really assorted shelf. We have our one and only Treasure Planet Pop, Wally, which for some reason I still haven't taken out of box. It's not really like it has any collector's value either. I've always meant to take it out of box, I just never have. Then we have some Eeyore. I love this pop. Maleficent, who is one of my favorite. Whoop! There she goes. One of my favorite Disney villains. My husband got this for me. Then we have SDCC Anastasia. My husband went to SDCC that year, and I'm so happy I have her. Then we have the Anna that never stays up and doesn't go on her base stand, and it drives me absolutely crazy because this is one of my favorite molds of her, period, and one of my favorite Disney pops. So that's a little bit frustrating. They changed it on a different pop that I'll show you next that has the same mold. I really like Frozen 2. It has a special place in my heart from when it came out during my life and the songs that it has. and that is the first Disney shelf. On the second one, we have one of my favorite Disney movies, Lilo and Stitch. We have Lilo with Scrump, and oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much the Lilo and Scrump stuff it makes me sob. I love it so much. I'm hoping to give it a bigger shelf soon, but I'm trying to decide, mostly because I don't want a billion Stitch Pops, and that's really all they've made for it. So I feel like this is a good mix currently of Stitch and non-Stitch. I actually have more in the back that is Stitch, but I don't know what to do with it. This one right here is actually from a Funko Pop cereal that my husband tried, and he did not like it at all. But he gave me the little pop, and I'm happy about it. I love this pop here. It technically gets two, but it's a pop moment, and the details are wonderful, and it's always nice to see more Lilo. Then we have possibly my favorite Disney movie. It's up in the air. I like a lot of them, but this one is definitely one of my favorites, in my top 3 by far. Maybe top 5. I can't decide, but I think top 3. And that is Beauty and the Beast. As you can tell, I have a lot of Belle. We have a good mix of live action and animated. I love a lot of the pops from the newer line that they made for her as well. This one right here was one of my first Funko Pops. And this one right here, okay, that just gave me so much anxiety. I'm not gonna touch that. But it technically is a Target Con pop. However, my friend who works in the industry, if you want to put it that way, actually somehow had a box lunch sticker exclusive version, and I was like, I'd much rather have that than the Target Con. So it looks like a sticker swap, but it's not. It's real. Apparently it was gonna go to box lunch at one point, or it got the wrong sticker. I don't know, but I have it, and it's cool. I like these VHSs a lot. And here we have this rose in a dome, which my husband gave me as one of my first presents ever. It has such a cool story that I'm not going to go into right now, but it's one of my most treasured possessions. We have the Enchantress and Gaston, who is falling over for some reason. The stairway, Belle wedding dress cue basket. Then we have Lumiere, Cogsworth? Why can't I remember this name? And Chip! Also the only proto that I own. Beast with all the birdies. This necklace that I got at a con. And we have the non-chase version of the Beauty and the Beast VHS. Under that, we have my assorted princesses, and I have almost all of them except for Mulan, I think. And this, by the way, is the Anna I was telling you about that is over there, always falls over. They came up with a better solution, and they gave her a base stand that has this part right here, so it doesn't fall over anymore. I wish they figured that out sooner. Oh, and then I also have the pin book with all of the pins in it that I own currently. Then we have some assorted Marvel and Disney here as well. Spider-Man is definitely one of the coolest. And then we have the last Disney shelf. This one here is kind of called Disney History and Disney Parks. In a vending machine back there, I have a bunch of my Disney Bitty Pops. Then we have Space Mountain, because that reminds me of my dad, because the one time I did go to Disney with him, he really wanted to go on Space Mountain, and it was closed. So that sucked, but it always reminds me of him every time I go on it, which has been a lot since then. So sorry, Dad. But then we have this Figment one, and I love Figment, and I also love Orange Bird. And that is the flocked version. It also is a con exclusive. Yes. Some other cool ones here is I have the Oswald Pops and the Chase and the Soda, and I have the little 2-pack there. I loved this outfit of Minnie, so I got that one. I wish she did stand up without the archives thing though. And this one actually comes with the castle. However, I have the castle downstairs with my engagement pops because I got some customs made because my husband proposed to me in front of the castle. So I wanted it there instead. And then we have Walt Disney. Underneath that, we have Moana and Mulan, some of the best Disney movies for sure. And then this bag was actually an SDCC exclusive. And then that is where the Disney stops, because then we have Dragon Prince, which a lot of people are always like, oh my gosh, I didn't know these existed. Yes, they do. And this is actually really cool because my other niece is named Rayla. And then not so different from Disney, we have Marvel. Here we have the Wanda shelf with the many different versions of Wanda Maximoff. They are a little messy right now because this one never stands up. If I were to pick my favorite mold, I think it's actually that one. The most iconic Wanda? That one maybe? These are cool because of the history, and this one is just cool because it's cool. But then also Pregnant Wanda, I just love them all. Then we have WandaVision. We have Agatha Harkness there, we have one of the Visions, and that one's actually the same as this one, but they have different stickers and different finishes. We have the Wanda versus Agatha here, all of our different Visions up there, 2-pack and the Pietro, and then we have some more Visions here, and then I can't remember her name for some reason, but we have her too. And this is almost the entire WandaVision collection except for, I think, Halloween Wanda. And I also have some of my favorite covers from the Trial of Magneto. Underneath that, we have Spider-Man, which is an absolute mess because my cats like to hang off that and knock them over all of the time, which drives me nuts. We have more covers back there, some giant Spider-Man or Spider-Moons, and then a ton of variants. This one is probably my favorite variant. I also really like my Spider-Girls, and this is probably one of the coolest things I have in my entire collection because it is a signed, authenticated Andrew Garfield Funko Pop, and Andrew Garfield is one of my favorite actors of all time, not even just for Spider-Man, for so many other things, like Tick, Tick, Boom is a great example, even though obviously he was more than just those two movies. But yes, I love this pop. This is something that will be buried with me. And then last but certainly not least, we have the Loki shelf, which is a little bit of a mix because we also have Hela, because Hela is just so freaking cool and nobody talks about her. And we have Hulk smashing Loki, which is one of my favorite things ever. This was one of the first Funko Pops I looked at and I was like, I have to have that in my collection. And that is the Marvel shelf. Now I know some people are going to be like, oh my gosh, it's going to get sun damage and it's a chase. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. But we do have the Galactus chase up there. It is the blacklight one. That is kind of why I'm not worried about it, because it's a blacklight pop. And the popularity of blacklight pops has gone down a lot. But the reason why I have it up there is because my cats like to stand on this and jump on that. So in order for them not to take a catwalk, quite literally, across my entire top of my bookshelves, I have to have something here. And this is the only way I've kept them from doing that. It's even come close still with this. And for our last pop shelf, we have the Assorted shelf, which includes many things because it kind of has a mix of things I don't have room for anywhere else or doesn't fit anywhere else. So we have Pokemon bags, we have I have some Harry Potter, my My Little Pony pops, which I used to really love My Little Pony a lot. I wasn't a horse girl, but I loved that show. Call it a red flag, I don't care. Then we have Doctor Who, Star Trek, Franny Funko, which I'm hoping to get a lot more of her, Willy Wonka, my How to Train Your Dragon pops, and a popcorn bucket that my friend got me last year for my birthday, or friends, plural. Then down here we have a custom and my Big Bang Theory pops. There's one of the original Sheldons, Amy Fair Fowler, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Spock, a sarcasm sign, Gaming Penny, and then the almost complete set of the STCC pops, and I'm really annoyed because all I needed was Raj. Why? And then this is a custom that our friends gave me. And the last pop shelf of the day, Artemis and Percival from Ready Player One, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon of Baby Yoda, the Try Guys figures, which aren't pops, but they're still really cool, and I like them a lot, and then some other DC girlies. If you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you would like this one too. If you want to see how I updated my One Piece display, check out the video from last week. Thank you so much for watching, and always remember that you are loved, you are valued, and you are enough. Bye!